do you think? Oh, you're going to start already? Okay. I just see somebody called me. I was in the middle of something, so I was like, I'm not answering the phone. Good evening, everyone. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing well. I'm going to pop this real quick. All right. Howdy. Running a couple minutes behind tonight, my schedule. So, anyway, I hope everybody is doing well. Uh, I hope everybody's had a good day. Gorgeous down here today, low 80s temperature wise. So we got Robert's in the house, Janet's here, Carol Prince, JJ, Kathy, T's Promo, Angela Fleming, Delbert Jones, Katrina's in the house, Hella's in the house. So I hope thank you. You don't have to lick me. I already took a shower. I did. Okay. Is that okay with you? Uh, I was absolutely gorgeous today. I actually got really motivated. Like I said, I've been wanting to. I thought it was going to rain yesterday, so I held off and I didn't do the upper meadow. So today I was like, going to get up and I'm getting the upper meadow done. And so I did. I want to get all those totes, that ones that we're not going to be using, and I want to move them. So I'm going to ask Steve to help me over the weekend to get those moved, and because it's easier with two people doing it than just trying to muscle them around. So, but anyway, there's an area there that's like now obviously blocked by 20 totes, but I can put them in that like weed hedgerow there, and they'll be out of the way. So definitely going to do that. All right, before we jump into anything, I would just like to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you to please be decent in the chat. Just be careful. Don't. Oh no, it's well with two people, it's easy. I mean, what I normally do, JJ, if I'm doing them by myself, like I brought them all down by myself. I rolled them. I rolled the things. I was like rolled them to the truck, lifted them up, put them in the truck, and then got them down here. And then I just like pulled them off the truck and let them drop on the ground, and then I rolled them to where they are now. So I want to get them, like I said, set to the side and get them out of the way so that it's not, you know, in a bad spot there. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So I had a different muscle shirt on, right? And so when I was cutting the grass, obviously I didn't have a shirt on. That's what I do. Anybody's watched this channel knows if the sun's out, I don't have a shirt on, and I'm working outside, I'll have my bandana on, and that's it. Well, it was really, I mean, it's dry. It's really, really, really dry. And then on top of that, when I'm cutting, the wind's blowing, so like the dust and the leaves and all that stuff. So when I did the profile picture for the first video, I just threw my other muscle shirt on real quick. Well, I ended up when I pulled it off, I looked at the back on the inside, and it was all like grass and all that type of stuff. And then I showered, and I'm like, well, I'm not putting that one back on, so I got a different one on. But no, just absolutely gorgeous out. Nice. It's the only reason I watch the mowing videos. Well, that I whatever brings you to the table. I love it. Here's what I always find funny. Um, Now I've done this my whole life, folks. Okay, I mean it's like if it's hot out and I'm outside and I'm working, I don't wear a shirt. Okay, and I do have a riding. Yes, Mary, I have a riding mower. I have a uh, John Deere. But so I've done that my whole life. When I was in great shape, I did it. When I'm in, dad bod shape, I still do it because I don't care. And I had somebody, it was a couple of years ago, somebody had made the comment, and I laughed so hard. Like, well, you don't have a shirt on. What do you think you look good? What they didn't understand was I don't care. I'm not doing it because I think, oh, look at I'm all sexy. I don't. I'm just me. And when I'm sweating and I'm getting nasty, you know, I'm not gonna have a shirt on. So, and then I shower afterwards, and that's just how I've always done it. And so, end of the year, from the waist up, I swear to you guys, from the waist up, by the end of the year, I'll look Puerto Rican. From the waist down, I'm a white man, because I very rarely wear shorts. If I was actually looking today, and I'm like, where are my shorts? I can't. Oh, I'm gonna have to look. Yeah, I'm too sexy for my shirt. That's right. Said Fred. I'm too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts. And I can't sing either, and I still don't care. But anyway, yeah, I just do my thing. And if I'm outside and I'm doing stuff, like I said, no shirt. That's just the way it kind of goes. So, but no, it was good to get that done. We do have rain coming up in the forecast, and Irish from the waist down. Exactly, exactly. And there were 4 cops injured at the University of Wisconsin protest. All right, so we're going to get into this whole thing. We're going to talk about something else too. Okay, we're talking about the police a little bit as well, and how things have changed. Okay, and I honestly, in a way, I don't think it's changed for the better, and we'll discuss that in a minute. Um, it just a lot of craziness going on, and but yeah, these protests, we're definitely going to be talking about that tonight, and all that kind of crazy nonsense that's going on there. What do we got? 184 in the chat, guys. We're at 78 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I thank you. It really does make a big difference with the algorithm, so I thank you for that reason as well. Please like, comment, and share as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so there was just a thing up in Philly. I think was it Philly, or was it? I'm trying to remember where it was. I believe it was in Pennsylvania, and the cops were serving a warrant on a felony person, and 4 cops ended up getting killed. 4 cops ended up getting killed, and others were injured. Um, the shooter was taken down. Then they were saying that there were shots coming also from in the house. They killed him in the yard, and then there was shots coming from inside the house. And there was a 16-year-old boy and the mother were in the house, and they eventually got them out, and they're under arrest right now, trying to figure out who did what. I'm sure they're going to get them for either, murder as well, depending on what the circumstances were of everything that happened. But I'm going to talk about for a minute when I was a kid growing up, and way that we interacted with cops. Okay, now there was some that got foolish and stupid. I'll give you a great example, here in a moment. But you never messed with the cop, or you didn't want to mess with the cops when I was growing up. You didn't want a cop an attitude. You didn't want to, you know, act like a jerk, because they would ruin your day. They would ruin your day. They would beat the crap out of you. They'd take you to jail on some trumped up charges, and you'd be screwed. I mean, it's just the way it was. You know, you had a healthy fear, but that respect, that you didn't act stupid. Okay, you didn't act like an idiot. So, you know, now you see all the videos on YouTube. Everybody's copping an attitude. Everybody's acting like a jerk. Now everybody has cameras, and they're recording everything, and the whole thing. With that, back then, obviously there was no cameras or anything like that, so you just didn't play. You just didn't play. When the cops pulled me over, it was always yes or no, sir. And I've had people on here on the channel, when I've talked about these different interactions that I've had with the police through the years. Oh, well, you're a bootlicker and blah blah. And it has nothing to do with being a bootlicker. Nothing to do with being a bootlicker. It's about, I wanted to go home. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to get charged with nothing. So I act respectful. And I will tell you this, there were many times, that I got out of tickets because I was being respectful. that I didn't act like a jerk. And when I explained, why were you doing this? And I explained it, and if they liked that or they took that as a okay, that I got let off. But if every time you get pulled over, see, here's what's going to happen, okay? And you got the one guy right now, and that's another one that kills me. He does all the, I'm a constitutional law scholar, and, you can kiss my blah, 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 and he acts like a complete jerk. It was a matter of time, folks. It was a matter of time before they got him for something. And they did. They got him for something. They put him in jail. And of course, now he has PTSD because he was in jail. Oh, poor him. You act, like I said, again, you will get labeled, okay, as a troublemaker, as somebody. So they're looking to jam you up. I didn't want to be on anybody's radar. I didn't want them to remember me 5 minutes after, I drove away. I wanted it to be as quick as I possibly could, not deal with the situation, and then get on down the road. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to have anything to do with that. I will tell you, one ticket that I could have gotten out of, okay, that I didn't, because I said something too late. So I was 18. I think it was 18. Yeah, it was either 18. It was either 18 or 19. I don't remember which. But when I got my license, I logical thinking by Ed, right? I said I'm going to drive like a jerk till I get my first ticket. When I get my first ticket, then I'll calm it down, right? Smart thinking. So I was always speeding everywhere, driving like a moron, except in towns. Didn't screw around in towns. So, cop on a back road gets me, pulls me over, and I had already signed up. I was already signed up to go in the military at that point, and so he had, he got me for the speeding. I can't even remember what I was doing, but I was going too fast, and so he had gone back. He came back with a ticket, and I said to him at that point, I said, "Can I ask you a question, officer?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "Yeah, strange logic, but okay." Yeah, no, I like I said, there's no uh, unique brain in here. It thinks differently and not always smartly. But so anyway, I said to him, I go, "This isn't going to cause me any problems with going into service, is it?" He goes, "You're going into service?" I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "When are you going?" I said, "In November." He goes, "Man," and this is what he said to me. He goes, "Man, I wish you had told me that before I wrote the ticket." He would have let me off because I was going in the military. Because a lot of cops are ex-military, So, um, but I was more afraid of my dad than from the police. I hear you, Vicky. But again, you acted, you act cool with the cops. If you're respectful, you act cool and don't act like a jerk. Like I said, again, a lot of times you are going to get out of the ticket. But the minute you cop an attitude, they're going to be like, "Oh yeah." I had a cop that I knew that I talked with many times. Good guy, actually one of the good cops. Okay, and there are good cops out there, folks. Just putting that out there too. They're not all bad. But anyway, he had said, if you took it to this level, right? You took it to this level. He goes, "I take it to this level, and then if you go to this level, then I'll take it to that level." He goes, "I'm going to always go one step above where they want to take it." He said, "They want to act like a jerk? Cool." He goes, "Fine by me." He goes, "I'll write them a whole bunch of tickets." He goes, "That's on them. But if you act decently, like I said, again, if you act decently, a lot of times, you're going to be just, you're going to get out of it if you act decent." And like I said, I just, yeah, and they will always win. Thank you, Don. You are correct. They will always win because when you go to court, see, here's the other. Oh, I'll see you in court. That whole thing. I love those too, right? So you go to court. The district attorney is on the cop side. The judge is on the cop side. So unless nowadays, obviously, people have video recordings and everything like that. So unless you have video recording, back in the day, there was no video recording. So guess what happened when you went to court? You still got the ticket, you got the fine, or whatever the case may be. So again, to me, I don't want to antagonize them. I want to go home. Give me my ticket. Okay, you pulled me over because a headlight was out. I didn't stop at the stop sign fully. Whatever the thing was, you know. But it's just the way it goes. I mean, it's like it's a choice. But now, like I said, everybody's got to cop an attitude. Not everybody, but a lot of people are going to cop an attitude, and they're going to give the cops a hard time, which does you no good whatsoever. Even if you are, listen to this again. Even if you're 100% in the right, it still doesn't justify acting like an idiot to somebody that can ruin your day. And you guys have seen the videos of that. They act like a jerk. Next thing you know, they're in handcuffs or in the back of the car and they're going to jail. And it was their own choice. So, but it's just, like I said, always a choice. No, no, no. But again, like I said, you do what you got to do. But anyway, it's just, like I said, the respect is gone. The cops are different now. You know what I mean? Old school cops, those guys are all getting out. They don't want to deal with it anymore. And these younger guys, a lot of them got a chip on their shoulder. They got the attitude. You know, it's just courts are where you argue your point, not on the side of the road. Exactly, John. Exactly. And the thing is, if you have a good case, then a lot of times you can get out of stuff. But to me, like I said, I've had handcuffs on more than one time. Not my favorite thing in the whole world. And I will tell you this: every time that I've ever had handcuffs on, I never acted like a jerk. It is what it is. They're gonna lock, they put them on. They never put them tight on me. I never had them where they like, right, even loose. When they had them loose and they locked them, it still hurt, and I still had marks in my wrist. Now I want you to imagine you act like a moron. They arrest you. You think they're gonna put the handcuffs on loosely for you because you're just such a wonderful person? No, they're gonna put them on tight, cut the circulation off, and then you got all kinds of issues dealing with that on top of it. You know, and what always kills me too is like, so many tough guys, right? So many tough guys. Once they get arrested and they get put in the back of the car, right? Then they cry. Then they're cried. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, then it's too late. So, oh yeah, the police have an impossible job. I want you to think about this, and I talked about this when I got swatted. Okay. And so, if anybody doesn't know what swatting is, basically what swatting is when you're live streaming and a moron calls the police impersonating you, saying that you killed somebody, you have a hostage, whatever the case may be, and then they set out the SWAT team and they come to your house, they kick your door in, and they come in with guns drawn and the whole 9 yards. That's what a swatting is. Okay. Well, I was swatted. Some of you may know that, some of you may not. And this was a story that was related to me by one of those cops on that particular night. Now they did not realize, obviously, that I was the victim. They were calling, calling, calling. I ended up speaking with an officer or the 911 dispatcher, and he was giving me the mantra, "Come out with your hands up." I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" The whole. Well, we figured it out by talking because he said, "Well, your voice is different than the one that called." No kidding, right? He said, "So I'm going to tell you," and they told me, and then I was like, "Oh my God!" So they realized that I was the victim. He says, "Well, the cops still have to come. They have to, look through the property, and I'm like, yeah, no problem. I still had to go out of the house. I had to have my hands in the air. I had a flashlight in one hand. I had my phone in the other, and I said, please let them know I have a flashlight in one hand and my phone in the other. That I do not have a weapon." They never put handcuffs on me. They realized that I was the victim. They, looked through the house. Obviously, nobody else was home at that particular day. The kids had spent an extra day at their mom's because Heather had a dentist appointment. So thank God in that aspect that the kids were not home when it happened, because this was many years ago when the kids were still young. No, they never found out who it was, Vlad. Nope, nope, never found out. Um, but anyway, one of the cops told me, and I want you to, so it kind of puts it into a more human perspective from a cop's point of view. He goes, once we thought we had somebody, and the guy had called back and said, "Oh, when the cops get there, I'm killing the cops too." Right? So that, I mean, so these guys are hyped. Their adrenaline is pumping, and So he told me, he goes, I called my wife and I told her, I'm going to this call and this is what it is. I might not come home tonight. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. How would you feel if your job puts you in that kind of danger on a daily basis? And it does. Being a cop is that kind of danger that you could potentially be in a situation where you would have to call your wife or your husband and say, hey, listen, you know, I'm going on this thing and it doesn't look good and I may not be home ever again. I mean, horrible. I wouldn't want to do that job, So my supervisor was a retired cop, best supervisor, nicest guy ever. A lot of them are really decent. A lot of them are really decent. So, but again, it just I wouldn't ever want to be a cop. So I do have a lot of respect for the police in some aspects. Unfortunately, I've also had incidences. Obviously, anybody that knows about the whole dog incident knows what a crap show that thing whole turned out to be. And the best part was, at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, months and months later, all the charges were dropped, as they never should have been. I should have never been charged in the first place. But I had to go through all that stress and that nonsense and that BS over that whole situation, unnecessary. Oh yeah, and why? Why? Because of YouTube. So there you go. But again, it is, if when they showed up at my house, okay, and asked me, and if I had said, nope, I have no idea what you're talking about, get the hell off my property, there would have been nothing that they could have done. Nothing. So, I have family who were and still is a cop. I wouldn't want anyone to mess around with them. Well, the thing is, like I said, it's a very, I want you to think about this. If every single day, and again, put it in this perspective, right? If every single day you were dealing with the majority of the people that you deal with on their worst day, on their worst day. So you're dealing with that negativity and they're having a bad day or it's a bad situation, and this is why the cops were called, domestic or whatever the case may be. It's a very, very difficult thing to have to deal with. Very, very difficult. And like I said, I wouldn't want to do that. Now, I've also had people tell me, oh, I could never be a nurse. I don't know how you do that. Well, you know, I enjoy it. And I know a lot of cops enjoy being cops. And like I said, there's good and bad. Okay. There's good and bad. So, but, it's just, but I will tell you this. Now, I did do a couple rides before that whole thing with the dog, and I did the back to blue rides. I will also tell you this, because of that incident that happened with the dog, I will never do it again. I will never do it again because, you know, wasted resources, charging me when I should have never been charged. I had to go in and get processed through the jail and do that. You look my name up on the internet, right? You look my name up on the internet. There's the mugshot. There's the charges, right? And you look at it and you go, oh my God, this guy's a horrible person. Look what he did, and blah, 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 blah. But they never talk about the circumstance. Nope, and I never got the gun back. You're right, Don. They gave me some BS about, oh well. So here's the thing too. Oh well, no, it was flagged. We can't give you the gun back. But yet, when I went and bought my 45, right down here in West Virginia, and had to have a federal background check, wow, it was approved. You know what I mean? So liars, 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 liars. He probably gave the 22 to his kid. So, but it again, like I said, I don't want to deal with cops. If little interaction as possible if I can help it. That's just the way I feel, and so JJ said, Ed, they needed to show you proof that it was like. Well, actually, you know what I said? I'll tell you exactly what I said to the guy at the time, JJ. This is exactly what I said at the time. I said, you know what? I go keep the 22. I'll have another 22 in a week. And guess what? I did. So, it just sometimes it's not worth it. It's just not worth it, you know. So, yeah, I just like I said, I games upon games upon games, and I don't want to play games. I want to be left alone. I want to live in peace. I don't want to bother nobody. That's all I want. And so, you know. Oh, and the topic, yeah, right. I know it's like we never even got on that topic yet. We got on this whole thing about the cops, but the reason we got on about the cops is because, um, and this you're not hearing in the news either. The number of police that were killed this year alone, it's really gone bad. You're the only YouTuber that goes live and gets commercials. I swear. Real, I'm sure a lot of them do though. RC Kev. Sorry that you got to deal with it, but thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. So no, the topic is about send your kids to college, and we'll look what happens. So we're going to get into that. Okay, we're going to talk about this whole situation with these colleges, and this a lot of this kills me out. I'm telling you right now. Again, as I have said before, um, you know, as I've said before, I don't like protesters. Okay, even if it's something I believe in, I don't like protesters. I think at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't do a bit of good unless you live in France and you shut down the whole country, right? They get stuff done. Over, we're never going to be that organized here in the United States. I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to happen unless all of a sudden everything is taken away, right? Like TV and the internet and entertainment, and it's all gone. Then people would get organized and get all pissed off. But until then, it'll never happen here in the United States. Too lazy. We're too pampered. We've had it easy for way too long. Dawn said, and a small percentage of them were actually students. Yeah, so you have these protests on campus, and we'll go right with Columbia. Then they told them, you got to be out of here, and if you're a student and you're involved in this, you're going to be suspended. Now, I was also watching an interview, and I'm going to talk about this in a second as well. But then they take over that building, right? They take over a building, and this whole protest, and they have the right. And I saw one of these protesters thought, well, they need to feed us. No, they don't need to feed you. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's not the college's responsibility because you got a food voucher because you're a student. You should be fed. No, you want to act like an idiot? Go act like an idiot and starve to death. Who cares? But yeah, they're very organized and some of them are paid. Absolutely. And we talked a little bit about who's behind that before, these campuses where they have the different stuff, where if you follow the money, a lot of it always leads back to George Soros, right? We already know that. So, but here's the problem that so I was watching an article, or I mean an interview with two Jewish kids from Columbia, and they said they were talking to the administration 6 months ago after October 7th, when, if anybody remembers what Hamas did October 7th, right? Does anybody remember that? How they went into Israel and butchered and killed and raped and mutilated 1,200 people, took another 250 people hostage, right, and went back. Does anybody remember that? That is the reason that Israel is doing what it's doing now. Okay, so first of all, and Israel stated from the very beginning, right, we are going to eradicate Hamas, period. So you don't go, here's the country, we're going to go to here, and now we're going to stop. So where's all the rest of them? They're all over here. Why are you going to let them? Why are you going to let them go? Now we, the United States of America, that's exactly what we do. We don't finish squat. Okay, we didn't finish Vietnam. We didn't finish Afghanistan, and we sure Iraq was a little bit different, but there's still all kinds of issues over there as well. Okay, but we don't finish crap. We get in there and we drag our heels and we don't let our military do what they need to do because it's all about money. Obviously, at the end of the day, we all know that when you have a 20-year war, right? It's about money at the end of the day. And it's about resources that are in that region that we are interested in. Let's not forget all the reasons why it's not for the hearts and minds and helping the people, because what did we do? We left. What do you think happened to those people that grew up in a freer society because we were there, and now the Taliban takes over? You think they went, oh, yeah, women, go ahead, dress how you want to dress, act the way that you want to act. It's okay now because America was here, and I know that you're okay. No, they put all the repressive stuff. I just saw another article. A woman in Iran. I want you to think about this, folks. A woman in Iran just got 11 years in prison. 11 years in prison. And you want to know what her horrible, terrible crime was? You're going to love this one, okay? Her terrible, horrible crime was that she was not dressed appropriately. She got 11 years in prison because of that. Think about that. Think about how repressive that crap is. And these morons that are at the universities protesting for them, for those type of people with that type of mindset. Oh, we'll suppress women, we'll kill the gays and the lesbians, right? That's who they're for. That's who they're supporting. That's who they're supporting. We will suppress everybody. The men are in charge. And if you don't like what we do, we'll kill you. Unbelievable. The stupidity of it is amazing to me personally. Again, very organized. Yes, there's money. Yeah, I have no idea what she did, Okie Forge. Probably took off her hijab, most likely. Again, you have these privileged, pampered snots, right? That and how are you backing Hamas in oh, the Jews are committing genocide and atrocities? Who started it? That's all. And what I love, and I'll tell you guys, and this is why I respect Israel so much. They said, this is what we're gonna do, and they're doing it. So good for Israel. And if there's collateral damage, guess who's that falls on, folks? That falls on the Palestinians. You know why? Because they allowed Hamas to be in charge and allowed that to happen. So there you go. You can't cry after the fact and go, hey, um, sorry for your trouble. Don't work like that. You reap what you sow. So, and they're called radical communist snowflakes. Yeah, there's something. There's something. They haven't got a clue. You know, they haven't got a clue. But I have a real problem with, like I said, so this young lady and young man came on, and they were interviewing them, and they were saying 6 months ago, they were saying to the university, this is a problem. We have an issue here that needs to be addressed. And guess what the universities did? Nothing. This was Columbia. They did nothing. So now we're at where we're at. And I'm sorry, but again, at the end of the day, folks, racism is racism. I don't care who it's directed at. You don't get to pick, oh, well, this is racist, but that's not racist. Racism is racism. If one group of people, regardless of who they are discriminating against another group of people because of religion or the color of their skin, that is called racism. All right. You don't get to pick and choose. Oh, I can't be racist because I'm this, or I can't be racist because I'm that. It don't work like that. It does not work like that. So, yeah, the funny thing is, women dressed like everyday women in Iran until the radicals took over. Yes, they did. In the 70s, Iran was very modern, and that's why, like when I talk about Iran, folks, okay, just same thing. You want to talk about North Korea? Um, the majority of the people in those countries are just like the majority of people here in this country. We just want to live our lives. We want to enjoy our freedoms, do what we want to do. Now, obviously, they're much more suppressed in those countries because of the regimes that are in charge. And what happened here recently, I know you guys remember this, right? When they had the issue where they beat that one girl to death, the morality police in Iran, and there was protest and people were flipping out and they were, you know, going after the government. What happened to those people? Do you remember what happened to them? I remember. They killed a whole bunch of them and imprisoned a whole bunch more. They stopped that stuff in a heartbeat because they want to stay in power. But what people don't understand, if enough people stand up and say no more, things change. So, like, yeah, you can't yeah, it's like being pregnant. You are or you're not. Yeah, you can't water it down. Exactly. You can't water racism down. You can't justify it. It doesn't work that way. So, my thing, I'll tell you what, they want to act like this, expel them. End of story. Anybody that's not a student, get off campus. Now, I see that, with Columbia, the police moved in, took the building back, bunch of arrests, but, this is going on. I saw this. This is what I saw too, and I can't remember what university this was. Negotiated with the demonstrators, and got free free scholarships, fully paid, fully paid for Palestinians to go to college there. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. I mean, how is that okay? How is that okay? I I just don't get it. I don't get it. You want to act like a jerk, you want to protest, go do it someplace else. If it's on the university, they should nip it in the butt really, really quickly. And that's it. End it. Stop it. You don't get to have. Oh, there was another one, the Clash. Oh, and this was good. I liked this one. This was so funny. And the police stood down, which I found even funnier. You had your demonstrators that were pro Palestine, and then you had your counter demonstrators who were pro Israel, who attacked the pro Palestinian compound. And oh, they didn't like that. They didn't like that. And the police stood down and let it happen. So, you know, anyway, craziness, guys, craziness. Protests went to the streets in New York City last night. It's CCNY. Yeah, it's gotten out of hand. It's just like the protest when it was the election year between Biden and Trump the first time. And these protests, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Here's what I found amazing about that back then. Where were the protests, right? They were in Democratic cities run by Democrats. And they allowed these people to go night after night after night, acting like idiots, and all that type of stuff. Was that happening in Republican-run cities? No. Somebody made a comment as, well, the Democrats are the ones that'll stand up and make a stand. Well, when you have the judges and the prosecutors and all that are in the same mindset, right? The universities are in the same mindset, and they're not prosecuting. Um, Brown University full scholarships for Palestinians and a guaranteed facility job afterwards. That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts. Yep, that's crazy, Robert. That is absolutely crazy. Again, you know, that's why they get away with this. Because the people that are in charge in those areas have the same mindsets that they do. And so they encourage that, unfortunately, in a lot of cases. The prosecutors didn't prosecute them, right? There was another protest that I remember where they trying to prosecute everybody, different group of people. Imagine how that works. So I also remember there was a protest up in Canada that was peaceful, right? And what did they do with them? All right, arrested a whole bunch of them, took their trucks, put them out in fields, put the windows down so the weather could get at them and stuff like that. In any crowd, I want you to think. So remember, I remember up in Canada, they were like, "Oh, there was a Nazi flag in the crowd." Remember that? I remember how they were saying that. Hmm. I wonder. I wonder if you had an agitator that was a paid agitator, perhaps up in Canada, that unraveled that flag. Right? Maybe that was an inside job. I'm not saying it was. Not saying it was. I'm just saying there is that possibility. But when you have the majority of people in those type of protests not beating each other up, not trying to burn stuff down, not trying to destroy the cities, why is it? Here's a question, just a question. Why is it when the right protest, they clean up after themselves, they do their protest, they make their stand for whatever that they're doing, and then they go home? And why is it when the radical left does their protest, they burn cities to the ground, they loot everything, they beat people up, they go after why is that okay? That's a question. So, but the sense of entitlement, yeah, no kidding. No kidding. It's insanity. The whole thing is insane. They need to nip it in the butt. That's exactly what they need to do. Yeah, do as I say, not as I do. Exactly. Exactly. NYPD did a good job at Columbia and City College last night. Good. Yeah, and I did see that they went and cleared them out and they arrested a whole bunch of people, which is exactly what they should do. Go let them sit in jail. Let them sit in jail for a while, right? That'll be fun. Mix them in there with our real criminals. See how they like that. Or you could be like that guy that's a professional agitator, with the cops. They're, God, what's his name? I know you guys know who I'm talking about. He always yells out that I'm a constitutional law scholar. I know the law, blah, 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 blah. Come on, arrest me, right? Who's that guy? Oh, of course they'll be released, but hopefully they can have an uncomfortable experience in the meantime. That's, you know, delete laws. Maybe that's, yeah, yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But again, you push enough, and they're going to get you. So yeah, delete laws. Okay, yeah. He acts like an idiot, and there's no reason for it. You want to film them, film the cops, film them, have a great time at it. But I don't know. I don't get it. I subbed to him. He's now in jail until July. Yeah, there you go. So again, you reap what you sow. You want to act like an idiot, they're going to get you. Didn't they get him for contempt of court as well? Billy the Kid, was that part of it? So I don't know. Like I said, guys, it's just absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. It's not quite there yet, JJ. We're not quite there yet. We're almost. According to I do it when I got 45 minutes in, and we're at 43 at the moment. So relax yourself. Hey, full of hope. Dad, I want to go back to watching you building raised beds in New York with mom painting and having a beer. I know it's dumb. Life seemed so simple back then. It was, yeah, that was definitely, I definitely enjoy doing that. My clock is not off. Well, maybe I started late, JJ. But no, I appreciate the donation. And yeah, I absolutely would love to get back to a simpler way of life. That would be great. This insanity that's going on right now, um, it's just it's unnecessary. Uh, you know, and it's funny that in, like I said again, certain cities, man, they just like you get down to Texas, I think it was, or was it in Florida, where Antifa, I think it was in Texas, where Antifa was acting like idiots, and they ended up get three of them got arrested. Yeah, they didn't like it so much then. But I don't know. I like I said, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like I said, I want to live in peace. I want everybody else to be able to live in peace, live their lives, do their thing. You know, unfortunately, you have people that want to tell everybody what to do and how to do it and all that type of stuff. So what do we got? 272 in the chat. We got 163 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I do appreciate it. It really does make a big, big difference with the algorithms. Again, if you are not subscribed, I would also ask you to please subscribe. Make sure that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time. All right, so let's do this. Let's do egg count. How many eggs today, and yes or no, did the white hen lay? So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses in, and we will go from there. Hey, Denise, a simple life may never be again. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. Thank you so much for the donation. And that's a pretty true statement, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's a pretty true statement. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses, and I'm going to have another drink of tea. Morning light, I'm going to say you're probably off just a little bit. All right. And I cannot say this person's last name, so I'm just going to give the first initial. But she's a hardcore member up in Canada. Kathy S. had the correct guess with 6 eggs today, and yes for the white hen. So congratulations, Kathy. She's been one of my hardcore members forever and a day since I started doing the private live streams. So, but you know, but yeah, they all of them laid today, which was great. And I was busy, and I didn't get a chance to get in there and give them fresh water and give them more food until this afternoon. And so when I went out there, I was like, "Oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry." You know, I'm giving them water, and I look in, and there's 6 eggs. I'm like, "But you still laid 6 eggs." Beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous day today. You know, here at the homestead, I got some good sun. I know that, but it was oh so nice, so nice. I definitely enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it. So, but again, these protests, these type of things will continue to happen until they're nipped in the butt. They really will. Until the rich donors like Kraft for Columbia say, I'm not dealing with this no more, and I'm not donating my money to a university that's going to act this way. And good for him. Good for him. So, hey, Lone Wolf Prepper, we'll see you later. Have a good night. So, yeah, it's just they got to, like I said, you want to protest, go out on the streets and protest. College campus is not the place. Now they had to cancel ceremonies for some of these kids, and yeah, when the government stops funding it too. Exactly. Ed, what would you have done if the protest had been at Heather's College while she was there? Oh, I'd have pulled her out, JJ. I'd have pulled her out. Absolutely. Not any kind of hesitation. I'd be like, time to come home. So yeah, no, that's yeah. When Heather was at college, if that had happened, then I'd have been like, nope, let's come home. That's it. I'm not playing. I would not tolerate that. I'm not going to have my child be in an environment where it's dangerous, where stupidity is the rule of the day, and it's okay. The administration is allowing it to happen. No freaking way. Nope. That's a good question, though. Thank you, JJ. Oh, yeah, I could freeze containers of water, yeah, and give that to them. Yeah, I could do that. Dawn says, yeah, it's like, where are the parents of these kids in these campuses? I think you are seeing probably some of the parents pulling their kids out. I know that, like, the interview that they did with those two Jewish students, they left. They left the campus. And it shouldn't have to be that way. It really shouldn't have to be. But I think, with, you know, I think that, it's a lot of kids have probably left. But again, it's the end of the school year. May is when they're all graduating. So, oh, college is way overrated, Billy. Well, the thing is, it was, I thought that was the importance, for a long time, college, 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 get the good grades, go to a good college, get a good education, and then you can write your own ticket. But unfortunately, a lot of these kids go to college and, hey, Philip, good evening. How you doing? A lot of these kids go to college and they're not getting a good education. They're being indoctrinated and brainwashed by these lunatics that are in charge. So, yeah, it's not good. I'd wait until Summer Love of 2024 edition. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. It will definitely be interesting to see what happens. Again, depending on what you're taking in college can make all the difference. If you're going to college for communications, good luck is what I'm going to say. I mean, I always joke around and I say basket weaving, but when you have a degree in liberal arts, all right, I will say it again, good luck. All right. Liberal arts degree, your, communications degree. There's other ones out there too. I can't think off the top of my head. Oh, gender studies. There's another great one. Going far with that degree. You're not. Yeah, that degree in basket weaving will not pay off exactly. But art, there's another one, right? Get your art degree. Where are you going? What are you doing? There's only so many jobs in those type of fields, and most likely you're not going to be one of them unless you're at the very tippity top 4.0. But if you're a 4.0 student, you're probably not taking liberal arts, you're probably not taking communications, you're probably not taking an art degree. You're actually probably going to college for something that's going to give you a good job down the road. So I would rather, if I'll be honest with you, if I had to do it all over again, if I had to do it all over again with my daughter, okay, and she's still young enough that she can do this, and I've talked to her about this. I actually told her, I said, I don't want you to go back to college. She goes, you don't? And I said, no. I said, I want you to go to a trade school, get it, learn a trade. You will always have work. You'll never be out of work, and that's what I said to her. So I don't want her to waste any more of her time with college. So yeah, the whole here's and so again, folks. Okay, I'm going to go back to this because this I think it's important and it does need to be addressed. This anti-Jew hatred, I don't get it. I don't get it. It wasn't like Israel said, "Hey, we're just going to go over and we're going to start bombing the crap out of the Gaza Strip for absolutely no reason." It was done for a reason. It's continuing to be done for a reason because you have to cut the head off the snake before the snake dies. That's what you have to do. So if you eradicate all the rats don't start breeding again. All right? And that's what Israel's doing. So again, good for them. So, you know, how this got turned around in Israel's the bad guy. I don't get it. I don't get it. And if you don't like it, you know, you have your opinion. That's perfectly fine. I'm not telling you can't have your opinion, but again, my favorite, folks, my favorite one is gays for, you know, Palestine. That's my favorite one because that is they got to be the biggest idiots out there, to be honest with you. Because if they were in Palestine and openly gay, they would be dead. They would take them up to the highest building that they could find and they would throw them off because they're not open minded. These people are not open minded. So, yeah, Israel didn't start this. Israel's finishing it. And now all of a sudden the world doesn't like it that Israel's finishing it. Tough. Too bad. You know, like I said, I respect hugely, hugely what Israel's doing. And they're doing what they got to do. Yeah, opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. Exactly. You are exactly right. So, but yeah, it just, you know, doesn't make me right, you wrong because you think differently than I do. That's fine. You can think whatever way you want to. I have absolutely no problem with that. So, so again, you know, you have to follow your path, do what you got to do, but you got to be also willing to deal with the consequences of your actions. If you want to act like an idiot, then you reap what you sow. That's the way I look at it. So, I must have missed something. I got to go back and see now. Oh, JG already got rid of him. I missed it. Come on, I missed it. I don't. Robert said, "I don't know. I know I think differently, but we're still friends." Absolutely. See, here's the beauty of being an adult. Okay, here's the beauty of being an adult. You can be friends with people that have different opinions than you do, and still be respectful. That's what's called being an adult. Oh, they said free Palestine. Whatever. Um, oh, they're trying to. The Israelis are trying to. They're trying to free him from Hamas. So, um, but again, you know, I have a lot of people that are friends. I consider them friends that definitely don't think exactly like I do. I wouldn't want to be surrounded by a bunch of people that think exactly like I do. I like to have conversations with people that think differently. I want to see where they're coming from. I want to see if we can find common ground that we can agree on because the point is, um, I get your point, but I disagree with you on collective punishment. That's fine. That's fine. And you know, and that's you know, like I said again, we don't always have to agree, but we can still agree to get along and respect each other. I'm gonna tell you what, Steve and I, all right, we've been friends a long time. I mean, like 27, 28 years, something like that. It's been a long, long time that we've been friends. A lot of times we have different views on stuff. His old roommate that he had when he was in Maryland, we would have hot conversations, and we would get into like heated conversations. Okay, and at the end of the conversation, I'd be like, "All right, man, have a good night." He'd go, "Yep, you too," and he'd hang up, and she goes, "Are you guys fighting?" He goes, "No, no, we're just disagreeing and strongly disagreeing whatever our opinions were. You know, that's what we were doing, and but we were always going to be friends no matter what. You know, I like I said, I don't want to be around people that are yes people. I want to be around people that go, hey, wait a minute. Have you ever thought of it this way? I like that. I love to have a good debate. I find it refreshing, absolutely refreshing. So, but Anyway, that's and JJ's like early. I know. Looking at the time, it says 9:01 down there, but I'm only. I must have been like a minute late. Well, I normally start at 2 minutes to 8, and I didn't start to I guess 8:01. So yeah, it's called being grown up. Well, it's respecting people. It's what it comes down to. It's respecting people. You know, you don't have to agree with everything that it's just like okay, and I'm going to use this as a great example. When Trump beat Hillary, okay, when Trump beat Hillary, I had my cousin's uh, his ex. They had a kid together, and we were friends on Facebook, and so that's my second cousin. All right, because my cousin Terry's my first cousin, so his son from that relationship is my second cousin. So her and I were friends, and so when Trump won, listen. I'm a ball buster. Okay, it's what I do. I bust chops all the time. I like to bust chops. I think it's fun. I'll take it as much as I dish it out too. So it's not like it's one way where I dish it out and I can't take it. I'll take it. I don't care. You want to bust my chops all day long? I'm okay with it. Well, anyway, what happened was I went on her page and I'm like, hey, how about that? How about Trump winning? Ha 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 ha. She blocked me. Now that to me, okay, to me is a weak-minded person, a very weak-minded person. You can't even take. I'm really busy at the moment, Princess. You know, you got a lot of my attention today. You did. When I cut grass, she'll sit up there, and she'll sit up in the shade, of course, and just watch me the whole time. Keeping an eye on Daddy, aren't you? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, okay. Shout out time. Pushy, pushy, pushy. All right. I'm gonna need a drink first. She's a good dog. Very, very loyal. Um, very loyal. All right, let's do this. We'll start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead. That's Ryan growing giant vegetables. Good guy. Definitely check him out and see what he does this year. We have Icky Can up in Canada. He's been living off grid. Real good builder as well. Watch him do a really lot of interesting stuff up there. So definitely cool to watch what he's doing as well. We have Angry Prepper. That's Jason down in New York City. Jason's a good guy as well. Definitely worth to listen to. You have Alaska Prepper. That's Rudy. Also like his channel quite a bit as well. There's Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels. Same guy. Master builder up in Canada doing his thing, living off grid up there. Really, really cool to watch what he does. You have Demcat. Another good guy. I like him as well. There's Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizarrizza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles, a really interesting story. Definitely can take some stuff out of that. Very interesting to listen to, though. There's Marfugal News. That's Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. Again, good guys. Definitely worth to listen to uh, out in Seattle. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wrangle Star, that's Cody. A lot of good channels, a lot of good information on his channel. A lot of good information. There is Red Poppy Ranch. You have Survival Lily coming at us out of Europe, giving us information of what's going on over across the pond. There's Kyle's Cabin, Kyle and Sierra, excuse me, up in Minnesota. Nice young couple up there living off grid up in Minnesota. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband wife team, two different channels, really good. They split the time between Michigan and Alaska, definitely worth to listen to. There's Green Greg's doing his thing, very interesting guy too. On his way, I don't know if he's already, is he already out in Arizona already? Is he made the move? You have Southern Prepper One with his Boots on the Ground series. Definitely very interesting to see what's going on with people reporting in from around the country. There's Gray Man Prepping. You have Doug and Stacy. They've been around a long time. Good channel, a lot of good information there as well. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. It's a nice young couple down in Panama. He's still moving. Okay. Doing their thing, living off grid down in Panama. You have the Green Dream Project out in Arizona, living in the desert, showing you what it takes to live in the desert in Arizona. Nice people there as well. You have Camping with Steve Wallace doing stealth camping. Steve's a good guy, been through a lot of adversity in the last year, lost some people that he cared about, which is tough. You have Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader, somebody else that's gone through a lot of adversity, a lot of bad things happened to her. Boss of the Swamp, another master builder, very interesting to watch him as well, doing his thing. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond is a really good guy as well. Like his channel a lot. Anything you want to know about the Grand Solar Minimum, he is a guy to listen to. There is Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. You have City Prepper. There is Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer. All the information of what's going on with the sunspots, and all that type of stuff. Really interesting. There is Bear Independent. You have the Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. You have Mary Greeley News. Mary Greeley is giving you all the latest of what's going on with Yellowstone and everything else. Definitely worth a listen to. You have Adapt 2030. There's Malachi's Corner. Truth Be Told with Tara. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a good guy, very, very passionate about the weather, but he also gives back to the community in a huge way, and I think that's awesome. So I got a lot of respect for him. You have Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand as well. Been through a lot himself. Gives you the information. He lets you decide what you want to do with it. I like that. Deep South Homestead, a very family-friendly oriented channel. Definitely worth listening to as well. You have The Outsider up in Maine. There is Betting on Alaska. The young man is the son of Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, starting his journey up in Alaska to live off grid. Nice young man. I like his channel quite a bit. You have The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. You have Simple Life Reclaimed. There's Townsend's. Townsend's showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. A lot of good information on that channel as well. You have The Prepared Mind. There's Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. Another good guy, definitely worth a listen to. There's East Tennessee Preparedness. You have the Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Griddy. Another really good channel. A lot of good information on that channel as well. A lot of good channels out there. I know you guys put other channels that you liked in the chat, which is absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that. And, like I said, I think we should be supporting each other, and that's why I do the shout outs. And I think it's important that, we look at diverse ways people think differently across the country. And I don't think that that is a bad thing. I think that's what makes us a great country, is diversity. If everybody thought the same, life would be boring. So you have to, take off the rose-colored glasses, think outside the box a little bit, and try to live your life. And I think it's important to try to treat people the way you want to be treated. I think that's really important. And if we can do that, we're going to be in better shape. So that's kind of where I'm at with that one. So anyway, it's all about respect. At the end of the day, I think we need to respect each other. I'm always going to continue to encourage you all to prep, to be as ready as you possibly can be. We never know when that other shoe is going to drop. I believe that it's going to drop. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of when, not if. And the more prepared we are, the better we're going to be. Oh, you're full of it. No, Dak Prescott never got traded. There's not getting traded. Whatever meds are giving you, JJ, ease off a little bit. Oh, that's too funny. But uh, no, Dak Prescott's not going anywhere. And his contract is going to be up after this year coming up, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that, what they decide to do. Well, tell your son happy birthday, Rat Rod, and have a good night. Again, continue to prep, continue to get ready. Just do the best that you can. A little something is better than doing absolutely nothing. So, even if it's a little bit at a time, you're working towards something, and that's important. And I think that we should continue to try to do that. So, that's kind of where I feel about that. But let's do this. We are Legion. We are many. We're all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? We got Robert in Northern Virginia. We got Steve-O out of Utah, Southwest Iowa with Vicky, Central Iowa with Robert, Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge, Leesburg, Florida with Joan, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house, Palatico, Idaho with Janita, Allie in Virginia, Janet up in BC, Canada, Morning Light in West Virginia, Claude in Chicago, Illinois, Angela in Tucson, Arizona, Delbert in Missouri and the Ozarks, Trenton, Florida, Ontario, Canada with Dave, Don Hill in the UP of Michigan, King George, Virginia with Allie, Connecticut with T, North Carolina with Matt, Vancouver, Washington State with Gary, West Central Illinois with Dusty. We got Mickey coming at us out of Philadelphia, Sandusky Bay, Ohio with T, Western New York with Karen, BC, Canada with CMK, Critter Lover, we know she is from Virginia, Melbourne, Australia with Philip in the house, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina with GP, East Central Illinois with Ranger, Central New York with Village Homestead, Queensland, Australia with Mama Bear. We got Dust Devil out of Texas, West Central Ohio with Dale, Sean the Englishman from Chatham in Ontario, Canada. Let's see. Eastern Pennsylvania with Kathy. So once again, folks, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. We're the ones that can make a difference now, and we can make a difference after an event by helping and educating people. Try to help people now to wake them up, to get them to help themselves. I think that's really important. We got Katrina from Rolling Meadows, Illinois. That's the most important thing. The more people that we can wake up, it's the less victims, and it's also less people trying to take your stuff. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win situation. But I don't know, crazy times. I'll tell you what. We just got to continue to pay attention, monitor things, and see where things go. And just like I said again, just keep prepping, taking care of your business, do what you can do, and you'll be okay. So anyway, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. Ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me, thank you very much. Really appreciate what you do. It means a lot to me, and it makes a big difference with keeping people trying to be stupid out of here, and that's appreciated. Also, I want to thank all you guys for being here in the chat, hanging out, joining us tonight. It's a lot of fun. I do enjoy these chats, so appreciate the support. Remember, folks, we really truly are all in this together. If we ever figure that one out, we really will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. They use race, religion, political affiliation. It's all tools that are used to keep us fighting amongst each other. More people die in the name of organized religion than any other way. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but that is the fact. Look it up through the history of mankind. More people have died in the name of organized religion than any other way. That's sad. Where's the respect for each other, you know? So, but anyway, also remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. If you set realistic goals and then set about to making them happen, you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. The only person that's going to stop you from achieving those goals is going to be you. That's it. Nobody else. Stay away from negative people telling you what you can't accomplish. They don't make no difference. They don't mean anything. Um, Focus on what you can control. Do what you can, and you'll reach your goals and your dreams. You really will. So anyway, guys, be safe. I will see you all in the next one. I hope you have a great night, and I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse One out for now.